Greetings from HRTech 2018. I'm here with Ben Eubanks of Lighthouse Research, and we're going to talk about AI in HR technology. Ben, welcome.
Awesome, thank you.
Tell me, Ben, what are three ways you believe AI will fundamentally change HR?
The thing that excites me about AI is, back when I practiced HR, the things that I loved to do the most and the things that had the most impact in the organization were things that were high touch. Coaching managers and screening and finding the best candidates. It's really hard to do those at volume, at scale. And so I think AI is going to help change that. It's going to allow us to do some of those things much faster, much more rapidly. The second piece of that is it's really going to help us to do this in a way that, think about the best recruiter that you ever worked with, or the best manager you ever worked with. What did they do differently from everybody else? AI is going to help us to map those behaviors and then kind of copy paste them over to our other people. So what if all of your managers, all of your leaders were as good as your best one? Mm-hmm. That's a wild proposition. When I ask human resources leaders that, their jaw kind of drops over. They're like, I don't even know how I'd imagine that, what I'd do with that. And the third piece of it is, fundamentally, I think it's going to make HR more human. We have to do so many things that are not very fun, not very exciting. Every job has that, but we have to do a lot of data requests and answering simple questions and doing these things over and over and over again. Yes, I answered that question 20 minutes ago for another person, but I'll put my smile on and I'll answer it for you the same way. And being able to automate some of those things away, giving it over to an algorithm, giving it over to a bot, doesn't mean that the person's getting a less human experience. They're actually getting more personalized service. They're getting it faster. They can get it 24/7 when I'm not on call. They get all those things, so it's going to benefit them in so many ways, making work ultimately more human, I believe.
Tell me, if I could ask you to name three companies that are doing a great job with artificial intelligence and human resources, what would they be?
So you want vendors, you want employers? Employers. So one of the really cool companies, there was a big profile in the news, I believe a year or so ago. Unilever's doing some really great things around hiring. And they're using a couple of different vendors to automate the front steps of the hiring process. And initially you think, okay, well, again, back to the human piece, like that seems like they're giving away some of that humanity, that opportunity to interact and connect with candidates. But they're actually hiring more diverse people, they're hiring better people, they're hiring them even faster than they were before by automating some of those initial screening and early assessment pieces of it. And their recruiters have better opportunities to have deeper conversations with candidates to understand, okay, what do you really want to do? What do you really want to be when you join us? So I think that's a really great story, and they're doing some good stuff there. One of the other companies I think is doing interesting work here, IBM actually uses their career coach tool internally. So as an employee, let's say I'm looking for a new job opportunity, Gallup research says that 93% of people that took a new job did so outside of their own company. We're only capturing 7%. What if we can capture more of them? It's going to change things a lot. And so internal candidates, internal employees can say, what other opportunities are available? What is my delta between my current career skills and the skills required for that position? And they get to see the gap there and hopefully close that, figure out, can I take some training? Can I get some coaching? Can I get something to make me more fitting for that position? And get towards their ultimate career goals. There's so many great use cases. That's the thing that's fun for me right now. There's not a lot of data yet because there aren't enough people adopting AI yet. There's still a lot of interesting stories and use cases. And that's what I really prioritize in the book and in the talks that I'm giving around the topic, because there's so many opportunities to really leverage AI to improve the employee experience.
Finally, Ben, if I'm a recruiter, what do I do? How can I prepare to really take advantage of AI in terms of how it may affect my career, how I would do my job?
One of the things that has always happened in history, if we want to look back as far as automation has happened, whether it's technological or mechanical or whatever else, the resulting work, the resulting jobs are always more human, more service oriented, right? More geared towards those human components. And so the things that I'm telling people to focus on, you want a short list, the key soft skills: creativity, curiosity, collaboration, working together, compassion, actually having a heart, right? It's that different and new and kind of strange. And the last one is critical thinking. Looking at those different things, those different soft skills, really developing those in yourself and your team members is going to help organizations to really future-proof themselves in the age of AI.
Finally, Ben, what do you think HR can do as itself as a department to really take advantage of AI?
The thing that's different about AI than some of the other technologies we've seen in the past is the opportunity to really scale. I mentioned that earlier, that scaling those human touch, those high touch sort of practices. And there was actually an article recently that said that job hunting in the age of AI is, I quote, grim and dehumanizing. Okay, so if we're going to look at this, we need to make sure that the decisions we're making are not to completely pull the human element out of it. It's to figure out how to make it more human for people. Mm-hmm. I talked to a chatbot provider in the route that's presenting here at the show, and they said that 75% of the candidates that interact with the chatbot to submit their resume say thank you at the end of that process. When was the last time you said thank you when you applied for a job? You usually want to throw your computer out the window, right? But people say thank you because it's a fundamentally different sort of experience. And so making the decision, this is going to be more human. We're going to try to make sure we cater to those people. We're going to make it more personalized and approachable as an organization. You can make that decision and then make the technology decisions to follow that. If you make the decision that we're going to completely try to outsource the human aspects and cut those things off, the result will be that grim and dehumanizing future, and it's not going to be a great experience for people around you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time, Ben. This has been great.
Thank you, Andy. I appreciate it.